Chase Briscoe set a goal at the start of the season, 8 wins. Well, he's inching closer as he earned number 6 last Sunday at Dover. And what a season it has been for Chase Briscoe, as we've seen the victory celebrations so many times. But despite the smiles and the cheers, life off the track has been an emotional ride. His wife, Marissa, suffered a miscarriage in May, and the Briscoes shared their story of loss with all of us.
Sometimes to truly feel the emotion of winning, we have to endure losing. Feeling the pain of love and loss. And through it all, what matters most is not only how we reach the flag, but who helps us across the line.
Our angel baby was watching over us. Just knowing that she's always watching over us just meant a lot.
At first glance, life for the Briscoes seems almost too good to be true. Chase and his wife, Marissa, were married back in November. In May, they were expecting their first child, and Marissa had a routine doctor's appointment. Chase was at Darlington preparing for his upcoming race, so she FaceTimed him so he could be there with her.
That was my 12-week checkup. I was so excited because I was going into that appointment and I was going to hear my baby's heartbeat for the first time. Me and one of the nurses thought that we heard it, but they took me to the ultrasound room. They were like, there's no heartbeat. And I could see it, but I didn't want to believe it.
You know, you see Marissa's face turn pale almost, and then, you know, I feel like that an elephant standing on my chest. You know, it's just so hard.
It's hard to accept. I'm thinking, like, this can't be real. I never thought this would happen. I've always loved kids, and it's hard. This is probably the toughest thing I've ever gone through. But we made a plan, and it didn't work out that way.
The race was postponed due to weather, allowing Chase to take the 2-hour drive home to Charlotte to be with Marissa.
You know, when I got here, we just met outside and just hugged. You know, that was such a personal moment for the two of us. We didn't even say anything. It was hard, but at the same time, it finally felt like everything was right again because we were finally back together.
The Briscoes decided to post about their loss on social media. They hoped their experience might help others. But it was Marissa and Chase who were lifted up by the support they received.
Almost like they were all just giving us a big hug, and they're just such a big family. It's good to have. It's good to lean on.
Maybe the most meaningful message came from Kyle Busch's wife, Samantha, who had suffered through a miscarriage in 2018.
My heart breaks for them. I know what they're feeling, and I know that sense of loss and devastation, and you must feel like you're flailing and you just don't understand why this happens and what else you could have done differently. And, you know, you just want to grab her and give her a hug and tell her it's going to be okay.
I thought it was amazing that they reached out, and I felt like it really helped Marissa quite a bit.
Yeah, it put a big smile on my face when I saw the text. It really helped.
With the race at Darlington rescheduled for the next day, Marissa and Chase decided he should go.
I wanted him to. I would never ask him not to. It was really important, and I knew it would help him get through it a little bit. He told me, he said, I'm going to go win this race for you guys. I was like, you better.
Here we go with the NASCAR Xfinity Series from Darlington Raceway.
Before we dropped the green, he said, you guys know how bad I want to win this race, so let's go win this one for Marissa.
The wait is over. The Xfinity Series in Darlington, South Carolina.
Chase Briscoe to the lead. Can he clear him? He does.
I want to say halfway, I took the lead, and my emotions just started going crazy. Like, I started crying as soon as I took the lead. I felt like my belts were the tightest I've ever been. I thought just leading the race was maybe helping her.
In my head, I remember him saying, I'm going to go win for you and baby Briscoe. So that was on repeat in my head. I was like, is he actually going to do this?
With just a lap to go, in Chase's rearview mirror was Kyle Busch, the all-time winningest Xfinity Series driver, and whose wife had just reached out to Marissa the day before.
Coming to the white flag, I don't know how I hit the wall, and I slap it, he gets inside of me, and I'm like, I just threw the race away.
Oh, he's in the fence!
99 times out of 100, if you hit the wall, you're going to slow down. Like, that's just how it works, and I hit the wall, and I literally gained speed, and I passed him back.
And here comes the 98 in the outside lane, tapping the wall. What a race off of turn 2.
I come off of turn 4, and he's almost back beside me, and I clear him, take the checkered flag.
It's Chase Briscoe who wins it. What a finish.
I was on my knees. I felt a relief. I felt a big weight just lift off of my shoulders. It was meant to be. Meant to be. I knew he was just being strong, but seeing him break down was just like, okay, he's finally like realizing everything. That's what I wanted. I wanted him to cry and show that and go through the emotions kind of like I was.
It's for my wife. You know, this is the hardest week I've ever had to deal with.
I was just thinking about her. You know, there was just such a weight lifted off my shoulders. I felt like I had done what I said I was going to do.
He did what he knew he needed to do. He did it for me and baby Briscoe.
Marissa mentioned in that piece the outpouring of support felt like people were giving her a hug. Well, Marissa, all of us right here at Race Hub are giving you a hug right now. Thank you so much for sharing that story. And, of course, you're healing with all of us. What do you think? I mean, when we saw him climb from that car, when we realized the enormity and the emotions, what do you think?
There was just a man that was leaning on his faith. He knew that it was a terrible time in his life and his dear wife, and he just had to be strong. And he was strong driving that race car. What an amazing last couple of laps that he pulled out that victory. I called him the next day, and I told him, you know, I had a similar event in my life that is very challenging for me today. And if you can't lean on your faith, you can't get through it.
Getting back in the car. Marissa mentioned it, right? Knowing that that could possibly help him kind of at least deal and at least handle the emotions.
Yeah, I think for most people you think, well, how could you get in and operate at that level? And I don't know how you find resolve personally outside the car, but I do know that there are times where the car is the greatest therapy you can have, right? Because when you put the helmet on and the window net goes up, all the noise goes away. You're locked on. You have an objective. It's a great distraction for 3 hours. And the win, you know, there's a lot of value in that because of everything we just heard, and the two of them being able to celebrate that moment together and everybody else kind of joining in.
And again, thank you guys so much for sharing that story, knowing that it helps so many people out there. And of course, good luck this weekend, Chase, as the Xfinity Series